In a dramatic turn in the Gaza conflict, Hamas has announced that it conditionally accepts key elements of President Donald Trump's 20-point peace plan, but with serious reservations. What exactly does Hamas agree to? Which parts remain contested? And what might come next? In the next 5 minutes, we break it down. On September 29, 2025, the Trump administration, alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, unveiled a sweeping 20-point peace plan aimed at ending the nearly 2-year Gaza war. The key provisions include immediate ceasefire and suspension of all military operations, return of all hostages, alive and deceased, within 72 hours of Israel's public acceptance, Israel to release over 2,000 Palestinian detainees, including women and children, Gaza to be governed temporarily by a technocratic Palestinian committee, overseen by a new Board of Peace chaired by Trump, disarmament of Hamas and dismantling of its military infrastructure, establishment of an international stabilization force, and robust humanitarian aid flow into Gaza. By October 3, 2025, Hamas issued a statement saying it accepts several elements of the plan, but asserts that other parts require further negotiation. What Hamas agrees to: release of hostages, alive and dead, according to the exchange formula. Relinquishing administrative control of Gaza to technocratic bodies. Ceasefire and halting further aerial bombardment if conditions are met. But Hamas rejects or demands renegotiation on full disarmament. Hamas insists it must first see Israeli withdrawal and guarantees for its political survival. How Israel will actually withdraw from Gaza and the timeline thereof. The future political status of Gaza and Palestinian rights under international law. The reaction across the region and within Palestinian politics has been swift and varied. The Palestinian Authority, PA, welcomed the plan and urged cooperation, calling it sincere and necessary. Islamic Jihad endorsed Hamas's conditional acceptance, signalling broader support among resistance groups. Egypt, Qatar, Turkey, and several Muslim-majority nations publicly backed the peace framework and pressed Hamas to comply. Yet there is clear internal dissent within Hamas itself. Reports suggest the military wing in Gaza opposes full capitulation, especially on disarmament. Analysts suggest Hamas may seek revisions or delays rather than outright rejection to preserve leverage. Despite its conditional acceptance, several major risks and challenges could derail the process. 1. Disarmament standoff. Israel and the US demand full decommissioning, but Hamas insists on negotiated terms. 2. Trust deficit. Many Palestinians and Hamas hardliners view the plan as favouring Israel, citing lack of Palestinian input. 3. Israeli skepticism. Netanyahu's coalition contains hardline elements that might resist full withdrawal or pressure Hamas. 4. Implementation and enforcement. Who will enforce ceasefire, supervise disarmament, prevent spoilers? 5. Internal divisions in Hamas. The gap between political leadership abroad and military commanders in Gaza may cause fracture. If successfully implemented, this deal could bring transformative changes. Ceasefire and hostage exchange, the priority deliverable. Humanitarian relief, reconstruction, electricity, water, healthcare restored. Technocratic governance, giving civilians basic services while political reforms are prepared. Transition back to Palestinian control, PA or reformed institutions taking over governance. Regional normalization, possibly opening doors to diplomacy and a new chapter in Israeli-Palestinian relations. But those outcomes depend entirely on trust, good faith negotiation, and enforcement. What might happen next? Here are 3 possible scenarios. Best case. Hamas and Israel fully accept. Disarmament is phased, hostages are returned, Gaza rebuilds peacefully. Middle path. Hamas accepts core elements but drags negotiations on withdrawals and political roles. Partial ceasefire holds with flare-ups. Collapse/rejection. Key disagreements lead to a breakdown, renewed fighting or re-escalation. Timeline. Immediate. Ceasefire plus hostage returns within 72 hours, as proposed. Short term, weeks to months. Negotiation on Israeli withdrawal, role of Hamas, rebuilding aid. Long term, reconstruction, political reforms, Palestinian unity, statehood questions. The conditional acceptance by Hamas marks a pivotal moment in Gaza's recent turmoil. But acceptance in principle is only a first step. The real test lies ahead. Will the spoilers in Hamas's ranks resist? Will Israel comply with withdrawal? Can international mediators enforce the deal? In the next days and weeks, the eyes of the world will stay fixed on Gaza. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for updates. I'll see you in the next video.